Alright, let's try to get back to it real quick, team. I hope y'all can see this. But either way, a lot of you guys have different ways of tapping into your energy. A lot of you guys have different ways of being able to tap into others' energies. A lot of you guys can tap into other people's energies. A lot of people don't really know how to do that without taking from it. A lot of you guys can tap into the depths of people's energies. You can understand where they feel something from, where it comes from, where it originates from. A lot of you guys can understand a perspective of others that they may not understand themselves. A lot of you guys are very deep empaths. That's one of the things I was going to go into. A lot of you guys can heal a room by stepping into it. I've had a video like that before. A lot of you guys have the power to call judgment because of this overseeing ability. And it's like, it's not a power construct thing, it's not a hierarchy thing, it's more so a relativity of why you're able to tap in like this to somebody's energy, or why you're able to call judgments like you're able to call judgments. That could be a activating message for somebody that you have the power to call judgments, because when you're able to see the higher like an oversoul, but not an oversoul. I was thinking of that. I was talking about that the other day. But an overwatch. When you can see the higher perspective of somebody before they can see it, you're probably either used to assist somebody or to guide somebody. And a lot of times, people aren't choosing to go the deliberate wrong way, right? In terms of what they're supposed to do in their higher self, or a lot of you guys can see with their people's higher self. A lot of you guys can see into certain depths of, I can see outcomes of situations, right? So a lot of you guys may be into that same thing. It's like a quantum physics thing on an analytical level. That's a whole different thing. But a lot of you guys can tap into the higher selves of people, not only yourself, but the higher selves of others. A lot of you guys can empathize and want to help others a lot from this kind of perspective that you can see it, right? Believe in your dreams, you're worthy of completing this mission. A lot of you guys are like already on, the ship, so to speak, in terms of what God has you on, what God has you sailing to, right? Tall male may be significant. I could be speaking to a tall male, but a lot of you guys are kind of actively like in this empowered state of energy. And when I say that active, empowered state of energy, you're seeing more so empowered results from yourself, or you're showing up more empowered in these maybe different velocities of yourself. And so that's always a progression increase. And so when you can increase in the progression of how comfortable you are with your own psychological mind or your own self, that's how much more cohesive your physical reality will become, right? You're right on track. A lot of you guys are like kind of like in alignment with your intuition at this time. So a lot of the energy that I was channeling in the beginning of my YouTube channel, it was like more progressive. A lot of you guys seem to be like walking into like a crystalline or crystallized understanding of yourselves. Everybody's coming at me and coming at my channel from different perspectives, different agendas. I wasn't going to say agendas, but different kind of points of relativity in their journey. But a lot of you guys are very crystalline in your intuition and your intuitive guidance, at least. And so that's a really good thing with the Ten of Pentacles, because you're getting closer to your real inheritance, which you're here to spiritually inherit, which you're here to spiritually be able to embody and emanate into the physical reality. It's usually not about, okay, that inheritance, that money, or this check, or this money, or this whatever. That's usually a physical, temporary thing. God's spiritual inheritance is always going to be everlasting. That's a message for somebody. Even if you feel like something was destined for you, even if you feel like something like this was for this or for that, a lot of times God has the final paintbrush or final say, that final slab. You may have had the colors and the paint to paint everything else, but that final signature is going to be God's, and that's a message for somebody. All the envy is proof of God's glory over your life. So that's the next theme and topic we're going to get into with the second part of this reading. It's definitely the envy and jealousy that can come from certain people or places that don't respect or acknowledge or are intimidated even of these aspects of you, right? And that can go into, the next part that I'm about to get into, which is, a lot of you guys may deal with internalized issues in terms of dealing with how your gifts show up in the world, how your differences show up. A lot of you guys have talents that are outside the jurisdiction of what's accepted. A lot of you guys have abilities and knowledge and insight over a system that does not want to accept new information, right? And so a lot of you guys get chastised, saying that to say, a lot of you guys get chastised and kind of blackballed in terms of like these aspects of yourself to be ridiculed or feel like you're rogue or ashamed or things like that, right? But a lot of you guys have had to protect your energy or learn to protect your energy around people that did not accept your gifts or did not believe in certain things that you're doing. And so a lot of you guys have a certain belief system. It's not a certain thing. It's not like a lot of you guys, you know, a lot of you guys are really like readers, for example, or you're creators or content creators. But shout out to you guys. But I was really saying a lot of you guys don't even emanate something in the physical realm. It's something that just because somebody knows that you believe something or look at something this way and they want to make you feel some way about it. A lot of you guys may not even take physical appropriated action from the certain velocities that I'm speaking of, like in the physical realm. You may just have these belief systems, you may have attention toward it that could be just outside of somebody's comfortability, right? And so they want to make you feel uncomfortable for it. That's the problem. Everything just works out for you and people are enraged by this. Let's go back into the envy and jealousy that can come with these things. A lot of people can illuminate you to be a witch or something dark when there's like really dark witches that are in the public eye that are so loved and obsessed over, that are like just, you can't let them go because they're your favorite pop star, your favorite rapper, your favorite. But it's like the same kind of thing, but people turn around and look at somebody like my view or like, you know, or like us, you know, in a certain way that it's like, oh, you gotta demonize them, oh, shame on them. But it's like they don't even see the blindfold upon them in terms of the public eye, what that is, and the celebrities in the public eye. It's a huge blindfold. If those motherfuckers was to be taken off, we'd have a whole different fucking discussion right now, right? But that's a whole different thing. But saying that to say, it went down a rabbit hole. But a lot of you guys have gone through a lot of different equations of, you know, unfairness that doesn't equate, right? In terms of what you've had to go through because of these different aspects about you, right? I just had a different read that I'm about to put out first. The government watch read, put that one out first. But it's because of this power. When people can sense and emanate it from them, I'll give an example for myself. I always had elderly men that had this kind of competition with me. Ever since I was young, elderly men, it was always that competition. Like they gotta show up a certain way in my presence. They gotta be a certain way. They want me to see them a certain way in my presence. And it was like something so interesting because I didn't really always have that underling, somebody really take me under as an older, especially an older black man. Like I didn't have that. I had the opposite reactions from older black men, which is so interesting. But it showed me relativity, and I'm using that as an example for a lot of you guys. You could be women, you know. I had an ex-girlfriend that had like a mother figure, like that was kind of like shaming the woman for being which the woman was, right? In terms of like things that the mother wasn't and things that the daughter was. And so a lot of you guys, using that as an example, because a lot of you guys can have that certain type of emanation from people in your family, from people around you, from people that were supposed to be close to you, and they didn't really uphold the same maybe closeness or likeness or fairness to you that you did with them. And it can stem from these certain abilities, gifts, and maybe differences in your energy that you emanate from, rather than the physical context of your relationship, if that's making sense. A lot of times it's the spirit that overwhelms and intimidates the shadows out of people's physical bodies. It's usually the spirit. It's always the spirit. So Hatenize and evilize around you, it's always the spirit connotation, spiritual connotation. So whoever I'm tapping into, you've dealt with a lot of different things because of this dynamic energy. I've said that in a previous read like 2 days ago. Dynamic. It's very dynamic when you have an energy that can move around like that. And a lot of you guys, let's take it back to the gifts and abilities. A lot of you guys can move things around in the spirit. I don't think that's telekinesis, because I think telekinesis is in the physical realm, using spiritual abilities. There's an opposite one. You can move things around from physical force or like something like that in the spiritual realm. A lot of you guys can do certain things and move things around and accommodate and transmute energy a certain way that's different from the next person. Saying that to say, these are special things that you can use on such a bigger level, and I'm here to just kind of like reiterate that to the minds of many people. You know, there's so much more you can utilize with that healing energy, with that purity. That's why these people in these vampiric energies, these systems, these things like that, they seek it and they want to drown it out because it really is special energy. And I'm just here to remind you. I think I'm going to end it off with that one. If you need a personal with me, hit up Shamika, someone to see, and Shamika@gmail.com. I just wanted to finish this readout before I went to go upload. But I've got a couple of partnerships with Otter Spirit and Rose Forever New York. If y'all are interested in 20% off of any flower decor, rose bouquets, and vibration enhancing jewelry. Other than that, it's your boy Justice. I'm sending my love and Ashe. Peace out.